So apparently JK was found somewhere in the hospital, and we need to talk about this. And it's actually a very good story. We also have JK being upset, or looking like he's upset, after spotting a stalker allegedly filming him. And then we have JK not at the camp and where he is at now. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave. Decide hate it or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Make sure you join us fangirling on Patreon with some free content on Saturdays now, and let's go. People were very excited to see JK somewhere they didn't expect him to be, and a lot of people were freaking out about this. Now, to give a little bit of backstory if you are not aware, there is this Japanese girl that for the longest time had people saying to her that she looked like JK, or the younger version of JK. And quite frankly, she kind of does. And I believe during an interview on a TV show, she was asked about this, and I think during a live stream, JK actually ended up hearing about this from one of the armies, and he acknowledged it and said that he feels like she kind of does look like him. It's really hard to see that she doesn't look like him, because I don't know who is older. I assume JK is actually older, but she really does look like him. I mean, you can literally just put makeup on her and it literally looks like you're putting makeup on JK. But it's even more odd because the images I'm seeing of her kind of almost look photoshopped too. Like someone took a photo of JK's younger face and put it on a female body. And I really hope that this is not super disrespectful, but it kind of does look like that to me. And I think it's actually really funny. Now, of course, she's very beautiful. I mean, JK is always so beautiful. And he has one of those gender neutral faces, as in if it's attached to a boy, which it is, it's going to be really handsome. And if it's attracted to a woman, the woman's going to be very attractive too. She's going to be really beautiful, and that's what we see here. Now, recently this woman had her anniversary because she had gotten married, I think the year before. So she is celebrating her anniversary, and there were photos being taken, and what do you know? You see JK in the background as a full body cutout, just chilling in the photos. I think this is even more hilarious because I don't think she took it offensively, that people were saying that she looked like a boy, or that she looked very similar to JK. She embraced it, and it showed that she actually is a really big fan of him as well, and decided to have him appear in their wedding anniversary. People were saying that it was funny, and they were kind of treating the cutout as JK himself. And they were saying that it seemed like he left the military to attend a wedding anniversary at the celebration. And even some of the headlines were kind of writing it in that way. I think it's absolutely hilarious. So in case you don't know and you haven't read those headlines, no, JK has not left the military to go to a party, but he is technically at a party, just not the actual physical version of him, just like a cardboard cutout of him. And I love it. I think this is such a fun thing to do, and especially if there's a lot of hype and things that are surrounding this idea that she looks like him, it's just such a clever way to play into it and kind of go in on the joke. And JK is such a good person that I would imagine that anyone wouldn't feel upset or angry to be told that they look like him. If anyone said that to me, I would definitely take it as a compliment. But I don't look like that. I look like a foot. And it's hard to compete with someone like JK because obviously he is someone who is very kind also. And recently we have seen him in the hospital, and not actually physically in the hospital, but similar to the cardboard cutout situation where it's a photo of him and it's someone honoring him in such a way that is very beautiful. So apparently someone got a copy of a brochure from the hospital. I guess maybe they knew someone, or they were at the hospital and they were able to grab one of the brochures, and one of the pages was fully dedicated to JK and his contribution to the hospital. Now, if you're unaware of what his contribution to the hospital was, then we need to talk about it briefly, and I will get back into what's going on. He donated, I think, upwards of 1 billion Korean dollars, and I think that translates to about 750,000 US dollars. And this was meant to help a lot of people who couldn't afford the medical expenses. I believe it was specifically targeted for lower-income families and their kids that are in the hospital. By the way, in case you're wondering, I have talked to a doctor, and they have said that those who donate hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially on a regular basis, to a hospital will tend to be considered a VIP, and when they enter the hospital, they will get treatment much faster. Probably won't get better treatment, like in terms of the doctors is not holding back unless you're a VIP, but they will get faster treatment. So I know that that's a pretty obvious thing, but it's been a theory that I think most people have, and now I know it's true. So if you're rich, definitely consider donating to a hospital to get the best and quickest service when you need it. The hospital wrote a beautiful note to anyone who was reading the brochure to say thank you to JK's community, as well as himself, for everyone contributing such large amounts. They continue to say that contributing to a hospital, and especially to a children's hospital, is contributing to children's futures and all those things, and really makes anyone who contributes feel like a great person, in case there was any doubt that anyone who donates to a hospital is a good person. I definitely want to explain that a little bit, because yes, they get tax benefits as well as when they go to the hospital, they get better treatment, but aside from that, they are actually helping people. So to me, it almost feels like, let's say every time you get cured of a disease or a cold or whatever it is, someone gets $1 billion, and then you're sitting there and you're like, well, that's stupid, but then you're like, you're still better, and it really doesn't matter whether they get $1 billion or not, your health is better now. So I was very excited to see this, and it made me feel really good deep down to know that someone I support had also supported sick kids and was doing their part to the world to really help. I don't think any of us in our lifetime are going to be able to donate anywhere near $750,000. And it actually tracks, because knowing how wealthy he is and how much money he makes, for him to donate $750,000 actually makes sense. It's not like he's a billionaire donating $750,000, right? Like, that would be very little. It actually seems like he is donating as much as he can. I love that he has been doing a lot of cute things, and it genuinely hurts me, like, to the soul when I see people disrespecting him or hurting him, because obviously I don't believe that that should be happening. So I believe this was an episode of Run BTS, or one of the reality shows. Now, I can't say for sure, because all I know is that I think I've seen JK wearing that shirt and those glasses before, but I can't say for sure when he's worn it, because it could have also been worn twice on another occasion, or this could have been the next day after filming. Like, I actually have no idea. It was, however, believed that someone from an aerial view was recording JK, and he caught this. It was interesting because he was obviously doing something, and then for some reason he felt like someone was watching him, which, great instincts, because I don't know if I would have felt that or noticed it, especially if I'm like on set or doing something. I would be thinking about that. I really wouldn't be looking. So when he ends up looking into the camera or into the person that's recording him, he ends up making a face, and people have taken it that he is very angry, and people, of course, are also very upset that this was happening before. And now that he is in the military, it has gone viral. Now, I have a couple of theories to this, because if this was a set and they were filming something, then those things are likely closed off with security. So chances of anyone actually getting in is going to be very low. Now, if this was something where it was like outside of his building and he had just come out of his labels building, then there definitely would be an opportunity to record him. But also, security would be getting the person who was recording him. So I just don't think that these types of clips are very easy to get, and I don't think a lot of people are getting them to the point where this would happen. Now, the second thing that we are discounting, or the second theory that I have, is that this probably was a staff that was recording him. And then when he looks up, it's kind of making an angry face, because he is looking up at the sun, and he is probably squinting his eyes because he's looking at the sun. It seems like whoever was recording him was also very far away, so I just don't know if JK would even be able to 100% tell that this person was recording him. But more than that, I do believe that this could have been a staff member that was recording him and was trying to get him to look over, and it could have just been the staff calling his name to get a clip of him so that they could use it as promo or whatever it is. People also like to spin a narrative any way that they can, because it goes viral easier. So behind the scenes, this could have even been a clip that was just really the staff or the stylist calling for JK. He looks over, he's making an angry face like for half a second, but in this video you can clearly tell that it was slowed down. So this could have just been that half a second moment that he made the face before smiling, but they cut out the smiling part. And the reason why people do this is because things like this go viral and they want to get the views, I guess. So they make up really bad stories. They know that the community likes to victimize the members and like to victimize themselves, so they do that. And quite honestly, they could be a victim of horrible things like this, but there's rarely ever any evidence to support that. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks for listening, comment, right? Love you. Bye.